Hello, lovely people. I'm Shaq, and welcome. I am going to be reading Mr. Shaw's Shipshape Shoeshop, and it's a bit of a tongue twister, so this might be a challenge. But before I get started, I want to encourage you to go over and visit the website and do some shopping. And I want you to keep an eye out or put in your little memory bank that there is going to be a big sale coming up. We call it Bilbo's birthday. Yes, Radar's in my lap. And it's usually 50% off. I think I'm going to stick with that for at least the patterns, maybe more. And that brings the price down quite a bit. And I should have the new patterns done. So there should be some new patterns for you to choose from. The wedding party patterns and some others. So be sure that you put that date, the Bilbo's birthday, which is the 20th, 21st of September, on your calendar to go shopping. And do some shopping before then as well. We can always use the support. So let's get started with Mr. Shaw's Shipshape Shoeshop. Mr. Shaw's Shipshape Shoeshop. Written by Eve Titus, pictures by Larry Ross. For my son, Rick, who also loves to sail the seven seas. It's another Parents Magazine press and copyright 1970. Mr. Sylvester Shaw was the best shoemaker in town. His shop was in an old building on an old street, between Mr. Brown's bakery and Mr. Green's grocery. All day long he sat and fixed people's shoes. His shop was always neat and trim and tidy, just as ship-shape as a ship. So he named it Mr. Shaw's Shipshape Shoeshop. His cat, Shoo-Shoo, always took naps on top of the shoes on the shelves. There were ladies' shoes, men's shoes, girls' shoes, boys' shoes, and baby shoes. Shoes with high heels, low heels, and even shoes with no heels. Shoes with square toes, round toes, and even shoes with no toes. White shoes, black shoes, yellow shoes, pink shoes, blue shoes, orange shoes, and even purple polka-dotted shoes. Some were so old that Mr. Shaw could make them look new again. He loved fixing shoes, and next best, he loved looking at ships and boats. Every Wednesday at 12 o'clock noon, whenever the weather was nice, he closed his Shipshape shoe shop and walked down to the docks. There he'd see fishing boats and fire boats and ferries, police boats, patrol boats and barges, tugs, and big ocean liners and big beautiful cruise ships. Mr. Shaw's secret wish was to sail the seven seas of the world, to see strange faraway lands, to meet strange faraway people. But trips on ships cost too much money for Mr. Shaw. After he paid the rent to the landlord, the leftover money didn't last very long. But he liked to watch the lucky ones who sailed, how happy they looked hurrying aboard. His favorite ship was the SS Sheba. At sailing time, the band always played, and excited passengers leaned over the rail, waving to friends who stayed behind. Sometimes Mr. Shaw waved back, pretending he knew someone who was sailing. When the ship's great whistle sounded, the Sheba would swing out toward the open seas, slowly at first, then faster and faster. Not till the big, beautiful ship was a far-off white dot on the waters would Mr. Shaw go back to his Shipshape shoe shop. One morning there was a letter from the landlord. Dear Mr. Shaw, your shoe shop is shipshape, but the building it's in is old and shaky. The fire chief says it would burn very fast if it ever caught fire, so it's not safe to stay there much longer. You and your next-door neighbors, Mr. Brown the baker and Mr. Green the grocer, will have to move 30 days from now. That's when the building will be torn down by the city. Good luck. I hope you find another place for your Shipshape shoe shop. Very truly yours, Sheldon S. Shrewsbury, landlord. Mr. Shaw poured some milk in a saucer and said, Sad news, Shoo-Shoo. After 20 long years here, I've got to go shopping for a new shop. I'll never find one with rent as low as I pay here, but at least I can try. I'll hunt high and low." Just then in rushed the baker and the grocer to show Mr. Shaw their letters. Said Mr. Brown, "I can't pay a high rent someplace else. 30 days from now I'll have to close Brown's Bakery and start working in my cousin's cookie factory." Said Mr. Green, "I'll have to close Green's grocer and go to work in my friend's fish market." "Sylvester Shaw, you're the best shoemaker in town. Franklin Flair owns the biggest shoe shop in town. He's your friend. Why don't you ask him for a job?" Before Mr. Shaw could speak, a big car stopped outside, and who should walk in but Franklin Flair himself. "Sylvester, my friend, I heard the news," said he. "Won't you come to work in my fair and square shoe shop? I'll give you good pay and workspace in my front window, with a view of the harbor and the ships you love. You and Shoo can live in the big back room." "Franklin, my friend, I'd be honored to work for you. Your fair and square shoe shop is a fine place, but I can't do it, not just yet." "Why not?" asked all three men in surprise. Mr. Shaw stitched a strap on a sandal and said, "Because I'd rather shop for a new Shipshape Shoeshop in my own shop. I am always my own master, which gives me an extra special feeling. But if I worked for someone else, even for my wonderful friend Franklin Flair, I wouldn't be my own master anymore." "Sylvester, my friend, I understand. Good luck. If you don't find the right shop, come to work for me. Of all my fine shoemakers, you'd be the finest by far." After everyone had gone, Mr. Shaw said to Shoo, "Today is Wednesday, my looking at ships day. Tomorrow I'll look at shops. Today I'll look at ships." And he locked the door and left. Down at the docks, he stopped to admire the Sheba, just as a sailor came off the ship carrying some shoes. "Do you know of a good shoemaker?" asked the sailor. Mr. Shaw smiled. "I'm a shoemaker. May I be of help?" "You certainly can. These are Captain Shipley's shoes. We sail tonight. How long will it take you to fix them?" Mr. Shaw examined the shoes. "About an hour, sailor. I'm Sylvester Shaw of Mr. Shaw's Shipshape Shoeshop." "And I'm Sailor O'Shea. You look like a man I can trust. Bring the shoes aboard when they're ready and ask for me." They shook hands, and Mr. Shaw hurried off with the shoes. Soon he was working hard to make them look new again. "These are sea captain's shoes," said he to Shoo. "Imagine, they've traveled all over the world." The job done, he practically ran back to the ship, all excited and delighted at what would happen next. And then it happened. His feet marched up the gangway, and before he could say Mr. Shaw's Shipshape Shoe Shop, there he stood aboard the big white ship. Sailor O'Shea took the shoes and told Mr. Shaw to wait. When he returned, he paid for the work and said that Captain Shipley wanted to see him. The shoemaker was worried. Hadn't he done a good job? Up to the top deck they went, to the captain's quarters, where the crowd of people stood talking and eating. The captain came over. "Glad to meet you, Mr. Shaw. I'm mighty particular about my shoes, you know, and you did just about the best job I've ever seen. Have fun at my party. Ever been aboard a ship before?" "I've never been on any ship. This is my first time." "Really? I'll have Sailor O'Shea show you around." Up and down and around went Mr. Shaw and Sailor O'Shea, and the ship was much more wonderful than Mr. Shaw had ever dreamed. There were swimming pools and elevators and dining rooms and playrooms and libraries and lounges. The sleeping cabins were cozy with the finest of furniture. Far below were big engines that made the ship go. Up above were maps and charts and all the things the captain needed for steering the good ship Sheba safely and swiftly across the sea. Best of all, thought Mr. Shaw, everything was neat and trim and tidy, just as ship-shape as his own Shipshape Shoe Shop. Back at the party, the captain had news for Mr. Shaw. "I've told my friends how well you mend shoes, so be prepared for more business. As for my parties, there's one every time we sail, and you're invited." Mr. Shaw thanked him and had some strawberry shortcake. Then the all ashore sounded loud and clear, and Mr. Shaw and the other visitors had to leave. This time, standing on shore, he waved to people he knew, and they all waved back as the Sheba sailed away. Next morning, a sailor and a ship's cook came with their captain's shoes and some of their own. When the shoes were all fixed, the sailor said, "You certainly make old shoes look new again, Mr. Shaw. We'll tell our friends on other ships about you." Later on, more sailors came with more shoes, but Mr. Shaw still had to close an hour earlier so that he could start shopping for a new shop. The first afternoon, Mr. Shaw did a lot of looking. Uptown, downtown, all around the town he looked. On long streets and short streets, on wide streets and narrow streets, on straight streets and crooked streets. But nowhere did he find a shop that suited him. If the shop was nice, the rent was too high. If the rent was high, the shop was too tiny, and none of them were near the harbor. So small were some shops that Mr. Shaw saw that he knew there wouldn't be room enough for his shoe-fixing machines and his work table and his bench. All afternoon long he kept looking, and for many afternoons after that. But the more he looked, the gloomier he got, and the more tired his poor feet felt. He saw shops on dark streets. He saw shops on dirty streets. He saw shops so drab and dingy and dreary that if he had rented one of them, he would have had to put up a new sign, Mr. Shaw's Shabby Sloppy Shoe Shop. Every day, Mr. Shaw shopped for a shoe shop, whether the weather was good or whether the weather was bad. He spent less and less time fixing shoes and more time tramping the streets. He walked from morn till noon till night, and his legs ached even when he was sitting down. But it was no use. He just couldn't find what he wanted. One day he looked at the calendar on the wall and said, "Shoo, the 30 days are nearly over, and I'm tired of tramping all over town. I give up. I'll have to close my Shipshape Shoe Shop. I'll certainly miss it, but things could be worse. I'm glad my friend Franklin has a job for me." And he went down to the fair and square shoe shop. Mr. Flare showed Mr. Shaw the big back room and the big backyard with trees for Shoo to climb and the sunny workspace in the front window. "Sylvester, my friend, I hope you'll be happy here. Tomorrow at noon, my truckman will pick up your things." Mr. Shaw stared out at the ships in the harbor, and he didn't think he'd ever be truly happy again, not without his own Shipshape Shoe Shop. But he said, "Franklin, my friend, I'll try to be happy. I'd better go back and pack. See you tomorrow." Out in the street, he saw the Sheba was in port, and he decided to tell Captain Shipley his new address. Going up the gangway, he met the captain coming down. "Hello, Mr. Shaw. Haven't seen you aboard ship in ages. There's a party tomorrow, and I hope you'll be there." "Tomorrow's the last day of my Shipshape Shoe Shop. I'll probably be much too sad to come to your party." And Mr. Shaw told the captain all that had happened. "Too bad, Mr. Shaw. But if Mr. Flare's such a good friend, won't you be happy working in his shoe shop?" Mr. Shaw sighed. "Maybe I will, and maybe I won't. Isn't it great to be master of your own ship, Captain? For me, it's just as great to be master of my own shop." "True enough, Mr. Shaw, but do come to the party. There'll be good things to eat and people to meet. You'll cheer up and start smiling again. Won't you come?" "I'll try," said Mr. Shaw, and he went back to his shop. Mr. Flare's truckmen arrived the next afternoon. They carried out the shoe-fixing machinery and the bench and the work table and all Mr. Shaw's belongings. Mr. Shaw wiped away a tear or two, and then he said, "Please hang my Shipshape sign in Mr. Flare's back room. It will remind me that I once had my own shoe shop." "Hop in and ride with us," said one of the truckmen. But just then Sailor O'Shea came by in a jeep. "Captain's compliments, Mr. Shaw. He sent me to fetch you." "Goodness, I forgot about the party. May I bring my cat?" "Certainly, Mr. Shaw. Just get right in." And away they went, down to the docks, up the gangway, and straight to the captain's party. While he was having some chocolate ice cream, he saw Mr. Flare having some vanilla ice cream. Then the captain came over and smiled and said, "Come with me, Mr. Shaw, and you too, Mr. Flare." Down, down, down they walked, to the shop of Mr. Ship's carpenter. First the captain and Mr. Shaw, and then Mr. Flare and Sailor O'Shea. And when Mr. Shaw saw what he saw, he was too surprised to speak. Behind a wooden fence in the corner were his shoe-fixing machines and his work table and his bench, and even his shoe shelves. And hanging from the ceiling, not too high and not too low, was his own Shipshape sign. Mr. Flare came over and shook hands and said, "Congratulations." But Mr. Shaw was still too surprised to say a single word. Next, the captain said, "I appoint you ship's shoemaker. So many ship's people went to your Shipshape shoe shop that I brought your Shipshape shoe shop to my ship." "Sylvester, my friend, I'll explain," said Mr. Flare. "The captain came to my shop today to talk things over. We knew you'd never be happy without your own shop, and that you'd be twice as happy with your shop on a ship. So when the truckmen came, I had your things sent here." The captain smiled. "Shoo-Shoo will be ship's cat. There'll be plenty of shoes for her master to fix. This time, we're off on a trip around the world." Shoo-Shoo sprang to the top shelf, purring happily away. And that was when Mr. Shaw spoke at last. "My own Shipshape shoe shop on a ship? I can't find words to thank you enough, but I certainly wish I could purr." After that, last I heard, Mr. Shaw and Shoo-Shoo had sailed around the world 10 times. Faraway places, faraway people, they saw them all. He's known as the best shoemaker on the 7 seas, and whenever the Sheba is down at the docks, sailors from other ships all stand in line to have their shoes made new again in Mr. Shaw's Shipshape shoe shop. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, that you will go and check out the Storytime playlist and see what other stories are there that you would enjoy, and that you have a delightful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.